Hello everyone, it's Leo. We've already said healing goodbye to healing good PreCure, but in this video we're going to talk a little bit more about it. We've already seen what happened to the girls after episode 45. If you haven't seen, there is a video about the future of each of the girls in Healing Good and other characters too from this universe. And the video will be in the description box. Just watch it. It's very interesting to see like a little glimpse of the future of the girls, of the destiny of each of the girls. And in this video, we are going to talk a little bit about some of the things that producers have said in an interview. There was a big article about PreCure in Animage. Animage is a very popular anime magazine in Japan. And in this, in the April issue, it's released earlier than the month that it's supposed to be released. In the April issue, there was a big PreCure article. And in this article, they talked about Healing Good. They talked about the movie. They talked about Tropical-Rouge as well. But in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about some decisions that the producers have made, the writers have made over the course of the production of Healing Good. I think it's very interesting to look back at the season that we've already watched and see like the decision that they've made. So the first thing is the finale. The finale of this season happened in the Healing Garden. And there was a decision, even before the season started, that the girls would visit the Healing Garden in the final episode. So this was decided right before everything. It's interesting because some of those things happen mid-season. I thought that it was going to happen mid-season. And at some point, I even thought maybe they changed it because of COVID. No, this was the original decision. Yes, that's actually what happened. There is another thing that happened in the last episode of Healing Good, and I talked about it in my impressions video. Lots of people talked about it in the comments too, which is the fact that humans also destroy the earth. Right? So this is a topic that came during the production phase of Healing Good. They did everything they could for Healing Good not to be an anti-human story. Junko Komura, who did the series composition of Healing Good, thought that it was a very important problem and it needed to be brought up somehow. So it appeared in the last episode. So this idea that the humans also destroy Earth, it's not only the Byogans, it was thought in the production phase. They decided not to go with it for it not to have this anti-human discourse, but they decided it was important enough to appear in the season somehow. And it did. This takes us to another topic that they talked about, which is Saruro. This character, I think that this character was very interesting in the last episode. I was a little sad that he only lasted for one episode because it is someone who knows things and he has a very interesting way of thinking. So Saruro has the same voice actor as King Byogen. And some people wondered if he was a reincarnation of King Byogen because of this fact or something like it. But now we understand more about Saruro. Actually, Saruro said things in the last episode that King Byogen himself would say. That's why they asked King Byogen's voice actor to voice Saruro, but they're not related at all. So like the official stance on Saruro is that he is not related to King Byogen. They just have the same voice actor, and they decided to have the same voice actor for both characters because what Saruro says in the last episode, which is the human discourse, that humans also destroy the earth, is something that King Byogen would have said as well. King Byogen does not talk about it in the season at all. Actually, we unfortunately don't see King Byogen talking much in the season. I think he would have lots of interesting things to say. Unfortunately, we didn't see this. What can we do? Another thing concerning the end portion of Healing Good that was changed. Now this is something that was actually changed in the season. In episode 44 from Healing Good, we learned that the people in Sukoyaka know the PreCure identity. They all know that those 4 girls are PreCure, that they saved them. They don't talk to them about it, but they all know and they all help them every way they can. What happens is that the original plan was for things to happen before the final battle. Before the final battle, everybody would know, Sukoyaka City would know that those girls are PreCure, that those girls are battling against a threat against King Byogen himself. This is something that was changed because of COVID. If it weren't for COVID, they would have shown their identities before the last battle. Because of COVID, they probably had less episodes to work with. They had to cram this information during the last battle because that's when they discover the PreCures are the PreCures. Like, they discover like the humans behind the PreCures. And the last thing is the Byogens. The Byogens were defeated in Healing Good. And in PreCure, when we talk about villains being defeated and not purified, this is something that doesn't happen too often lately. In the past few seasons, with obvious exceptions, we have the Curious purifying them or talking to them and getting into a middle ground with the villains. With the Byogens, it was different. What happened was that during the pre-production, they discussed if there was going to be a reconciliation or a redemption arc for the Byogens at the end of Healing Good. They decided during the pre-production phase that this would not happen. They would be defeated. So this was decided even before they actually started working on like directly in the episodes. During the pre-production phase, we learned that they already knew that the Byogens would have been defeated. And they also decided that one of the Byogens would still live inside Asumi after the series was over. And they didn't know who, but they ended up deciding to go with Shindo Ine, and they thought it was going to be like shameful to Shindo Ine to live like this, but well, they went with it nonetheless. And interesting fact, like they decided this beforehand. Like this was not an afterthought. And also this makes clear that Shindo Ine is alive inside Asumi somehow, purified inside Asumi somehow. This doesn't change things. I think it's okay. There wasn't a big, like a bad part, something bad happening to Asumi's body because Shindo Ine was inside her. No, she was purified inside her, and that's it. And Shindo Ine and Asumi isn't a human, so it's all fine. So basically, those are some interesting points that were talked about in the Anime Age article. I think they are very interesting. It's very nice to look back at the season and see what the production team was thinking, the writers were thinking, the series composition were like, what were they thinking when deciding this? So it's interesting to have more of the flavor of the behind the scenes of Healing Good. I think that those informations are nice. I like, having like this little glimpse of the production team, and it's always very interesting to look back. Not big information, but they're all interesting in my opinion. What do you think? Do you think that it enriches the experience of the season, or you don't really care at all about what the producers are thinking and like the writers and everything? You just want the actual experience. What is your stance on this? I would like to know, so please leave in the comments. Anyways, I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your support. I really appreciate that you believe in Magical Cinnamon. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.